welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So I'm excited to bring you along for this delicious recipe. It's almost springtime here, and so I was outside watering trees because we've been in such a drought, and my raspberry bushes and all that, giving them a drink of water until we turn on the sprinkler system. And I noticed my rhubarb is popping up out of the ground in 2 places, and I'm loving it. And I got so much rhubarb off of 1 plant last year that I know I'm going to get tons now with 2 plants. And so I'm going to use up what I put back in the freezer before I have to put some more in the freezer. So we're using up rhubarb from last year, and this is just fresh diced. My rhubarb is the green variety, tastes exactly the same. And these are semi-frozen, kind of thawing them out here. Doesn't matter because we're going to bring it to a boil. So you want 8 cups of diced rhubarb. And I know I'm going to have 8 cups. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, got just a little bit more than 8 cups, which is perfect for this recipe. And this just makes the best jam. So we'll put that over there. And in this, we're going to add 3 cups of sugar. And you don't need a whole lot of sugar because we're getting sugar from various places. We're getting sugar from the pie filling that we're going to use and the Jell-O that we're putting in there. And there you go. Time to refill my jar. All right, so we'll set that aside. We're going to go ahead and bring this to a boil. And then we'll add in pie filling. And I've got a blackberry pie filling and a blueberry pie filling. And then on top of that, we're going to add in raspberry Jell-O. We're going to add in a raspberry Jell-O and a blackberry Jell-O. So that's going to add some extra sugar, more flavor. This couldn't be more bursting with flavor, and it's a great way to use up your rhubarb. So let's get over to the stove where I'm actually got my water bath canner heating up. My jars are already sanitized in the dishwasher, and I always, before I even put them in the dishwasher, even though I put them away clean, I wash them with hot soapy water again. And especially when water bath canning, you've got to be extra careful on how clean you are. And so I hot soapy water, throw them in the dishwasher, set it on sanitize, and run.
So now that we've got this on the stove and it starts kind of liquefying, the sugar liquefies, and we're thawing out the fruit completely, we're going to go ahead and add in our pie fillings. And my mouth is watering. I love the tart rhubarb in this, and it just makes for such a delicious, beautiful colored jam too. And if you have red rhubarb, it's even better. But I don't, so there you go. And that was the blueberry. Now we're going to put the blackberry in here. And I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas. If you have rhubarb from last year in your freezer, this is a great way to use it up. Share this with friends. Okay, then you're going to get this all mixed up. Bring this to a boil, and you're going to boil it for about 10 minutes. You really want that rhubarb to become nice and tender. Tender and juicy. And it's your call whether you puree this with an immersion blender. If you feel like your rhubarb isn't broke down enough and you want to break that fruit up a little bit more, you can wazz that up with the immersion blender. And you can also, if you don't feel like it's the right color for you, you can add food coloring, but I'm not going to because we're still going to add this Jell-O in, which has coloring in it as well. So I'll be back when we've boiled this for 10
So I just wanted to show you, this is boiling now. It's been going about 5 minutes. And you're really just doing this to cook that rhubarb through. And what I'm going to do, because I don't want big chunks of the green rhubarb in there, I'm going to put the immersion blender in there and just break it up a little bit. I don't mind some chunks, but I really want it more of a real nice smooth jam, or smoother than this, let's put it that way. But it's just gorgeous, and it's making my mouth water because I know how delicious this is. So I'll bring you back. So when you come back and I come back and it's all smooth or smoother than that, you'll know why. And we'll be jarring it up. So guys, at this point, I pureed this, not completely
smooth, but smoother than it was. And I've poured my 2 packages of Jell-O in here, and we still got some chunks of fruit here and there, but the 2 things of Jell-O till it's dissolved, and then you're ready to jar it up. Oh, it's just beautiful. I don't know if you can see. I am ready to start jarring it up. These jars are hot, and you know, they get tempered in the dishwasher pretty readily. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a different ladle, just because it might make it a little easier to fill these. We'll see. So ladle your jam into your jars. So this is nice. You don't have to spend money on pectin, and yes, you're buying fruit filling, but you could use your own pie filling. So if you make pie filling, which I do, I just didn't have any on hand of this kind. So you can go 1/4 of an inch of headspace. Now, as I go to the next jar, I'm gonna go ahead and get this one. Wipe down the rim. Inspect one last time the rim of your jar. Make sure there's no nicks on it or abnormal feeling, so you get assured that it's going to seal. And I'm using all metal lids because chances are I'm going to give some of this away, and you never get those back. So we'll put this in the hot water bath, and look how pretty. It's beautiful. Put this in the hot water bath canner to wait for the other jars. All right. And I'll bring you back and let you know how many I got. All right, I've got all my jars in there. I've got 10 half pints and 1 12-ounce jar. So it makes a fair amount of jam and plenty to share and enjoy. And it's a great way, if you're a home canner and you've got pie fillings in your pantry that you need to use before the next canning season, go ahead and make this jam. You've got rhubarb, you've got pie filling, let's do it. You don't need pectin. And maybe you've got Jell-O in your pantry that you want to use up. All right, guys, I hope this helps. I'll be back when I pull them out. My jam is done, and I do want to tell you that I put vinegar in the water to keep the jars from clouding up. And then I processed them once it came to a full rolling boil, which took a few minutes. I processed them for 10 full minutes, and then they've been sitting here in the canner. After you turn the burner off, I moved it over to the other burner so it's easier for you to see. I let it set here in the canner for 5 minutes, and that's standard directions for most canning books. So I'm just excited, and I'm telling you that jam tastes so fantastic. It's wonderful on waffles. It's great for stuffed French toast for your Easter brunch that's coming up. And jars have already been pinging, so. And I'm using lids that I bought, oh boy, quite a while ago. A couple of years ago. Just kind of trying to get through those. And then, you know, jams, whoops, there's one going. Jams and jellies don't last long. Friends and family take care of that pretty quickly. And everyone loves to get a jar of homemade jam. So, I'm excited. That one just pinged. And it's fun to see little chunks of the rhubarb in here. So I'm going to let these sit and cool completely, and then they'll be ready to label. And I really, on jam and jelly, I clean the jar before I put the rings on, so I really don't take the bands off and wash the jars like I do my other canning projects. It doesn't seem to be necessary. If my jars were cloudy and weren't aesthetically pretty, then I would, but these absolutely are beautiful. And so I hope it inspires you guys to try some canning. This didn't take very long at all. I already had everything in my pantry and in my freezer. And I just, when I decided to run the dishwasher, I thought, well, do I have room for some jars? And I did. And then I threw it together. It doesn't take long. It's not hard. And what a delicious bounty I got. So I hope it inspires you to come back next time. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe and a thumbs up, and go share it on your Facebook page. I've left some links down in the description box below. From the first one will be an Amazon link, and I'll link some canning essentials that I like in the kitchen, and then you can shop from there. And
if you buy anything, I'll get a little bit of credit for that. It doesn't cost you anymore. And then down below that, I've got my mailing address, my Facebook page link, and my Zaycon Foods and Great Deal Shop for bulk meats at